What do you think? What do you want to talk about?
Well, it's apparently 20 fucking 20. We have a lockdown, kind of a lockdown, a soft lockdown. It's like kind of like softcore porn. So I guess
My
the only
least favorite kind.
it's everybody's least favorite kind. The only question is what is the libertarian thought? What is the thought coming from the standpoint of the Minnesota Libertarian Party or libertarians in general, which might contrast with some libertarians, like say the actual party chair for the state country. But what is your response and thoughts on the current stimulus bill?
Which one? Federal
We'll,
one, two, three, or state one?
we're going to talk about all of them. We'll start with federal.
All right. Well, first of all, let me give you my perspective. I'm obviously a diehard libertarian. That's the only existence I've ever known. On the responses of libertarians, since you brought up some other ones. And to try and put it in a nutshell, you're seeing three types of people right now. You're seeing libertarians who seem to be closet authoritarians, who think that the government response should be followed, period, right now, because we're in a crisis. You're seeing group two libertarians who think there isn't a crisis at all right now. Then you're seeing group three, which I would put myself in, who doesn't know if it's a crisis or not, but are questioning the data, the information coming to us from the government and the media. But regardless if that is accurate or not, do not believe that the government response is appropriate or measured, that the government response is making things worse instead of better. So to answer your question on stimulus, I think it's shameful. I think it's absolutely shameful, and I give props to Thomas Massey today for upholding his constitutional obligation, his oath, trying to get a vote in person, people on the record. They are passing trillions of dollars at the federal level, which, pardon my indebts your children, indebts our children, our future generations to pay off our situation right now. No one has read it. There's been no input, no advance notice, no debate. Let's just do a vocal voice vote on the largest stimulus bill ever. I reject the notion that it's even a stimulus bill. It's a rescue bill. It's not stimulating shit. Okay? You're trying to help people, and there's merits to this which are respectable, to put food on their table, to pay their mortgage. Because you, the government, just put all them fuckers out of work. So to say you're stimulating things, you're not. You're saving them from circling down the drain. So let's call it a rescue package. Let's call it what it really is. At the state level, they just did the same thing yesterday. No input allowed, no review allowed, no public observation allowed. They gave out information to the senators 1 hour early. You have to vote for it, period, to save America. From what I've read on the federal $2.2 trillion package today, that comes out to over $6,000 per American. They're going to give us $1,200 each. Where's the other $5,000 going? They're going to do what they always do, crony capitalism. They're going to pick winners and losers. They're giving $20 billion to rescue the post office. 100 million or billion, I don't know the number, to NASA. They're bailing out airlines. The market needs to correct these situations and not have government put the debt, the burden, the future destruction of the dollar, the economy on our back. Is that an official libertarian platform position? There isn't one. Like I said, everyone has a different opinion. We're in the fog of war right now. But that's my, as a libertarian, position.
So, for all the Republicans who say socialism is bad, what how does this work for their Kool-Aid that everybody seems to drink?
People like yourself and myself, true libertarians, have known for a long time there is no difference between Republicans and Democrats. The only difference in society on a political scale is those who believe in the state and those who oppose the state. Authoritarian versus libertarian. Authoritarian thinks the solution to all problem lies in the state, and they should be granted power using force to enact whatever needs to be done for the common good. Libertarian individualists believe that that power, that solution lies in yourself, and the role of government is to protect your ability to do that, to create your own solution, to live your own life. What's happening right now is exposing Republicans as Democrats, as socialists, as big government interventionists, not only in foreign countries, in our own country. So it's fascinating to see not only the media, but the people who don't think for themselves just lap up that there's actually a difference. The Republicans are fiscally conservative, that they're scrupulous, that they're trying to preserve the demise of our dollar and our lives, and they're not. They're lockstep with Democrats, enacting sweeping bailouts on our backs. They should be giving that $2.2 trillion. They should just give $6,000 to every American. They will choose where it goes. I don't know if what they're doing is a redistribution. I don't think that's the right comparison or metric, but what they're doing is definitely not in the best interest of each individual, is my belief.
The other fascinating thing is, if you think about if you wanted to truly stimulate the economy and through all this chaos, I think the most simplistic solution would be stop shutting down business, and even though plenty of people would still be affected by it, if you actually really truthfully cared and you wanted to make a difference, the Fed runs all of our currency, and if they really cared, the most simplistic solution would be fine. We're going to recall all interest rates on mortgages, home loans, you name it. I mean, that puts exponential amounts of money in people's pockets, and then people then would realize, well, I'm not having this. Shit, I have this extra money. I can use this to maybe start a different business, give an employee a raise, or if they really cared, they would just get rid of all interest on student loans. Forgiving student loans, I don't think that helps anything because it doesn't teach a lesson, but if you were to say forgive them, you would have to completely restructure. And no one is putting solutions or ideas, from what I understand, via state level or federal level. Mm-hmm. And it would be nice if we actually heard something like that.
You bring up some great points. Think about a couple of things you just brought up. The actions by the Fed. They have shot every bullet in their gun. They have taken interest rates to zero and said that they are going to buy unlimited printing of money to infinity as the solution to this problem. The future of that is massive inflation. I'm not a monetary scientist, but I do know if this piece of paper is worth one phone, and suddenly there's two pieces of paper in the world for every phone, suddenly this phone is worth two pieces of paper. If you make 1 trillion pieces of paper for every phone, suddenly I need to spend 1 trillion pieces of paper to get that phone. So by printing money out of thin air, there's no backing, there's no reserve. The future is coming of those chickens coming home to roost. You've seen it in Venezuela. A loaf of bread is going to be $35. We're going to be using our money to wipe our asses because it's going to be worth toilet paper.
Well, that's like the fascinating thing when you had the Andrew Yang types who said we need to have $1,000 a month go to people all the time. Okay, well now your rent just went up.
Yeah.
Every single
Yep.
home renter or whatever, they now know that you have an extra $1,000 that just went up.
Yep. And this is a transfer of wealth. That's what it is. When they manipulate interest rates and printing of money, it transfers wealth. So if I have 500 phones in my bank account, all of a sudden they print 10 times as many pieces of paper for that phone. All of a sudden each phone suddenly is worth 1 trillion pieces of paper. That phone itself has less value because I need 1 trillion of these versus one of these. So it deflates your personal wealth, and that's how they transfer it out of your possession, out of my possession, unto themselves. That's the ultimate power seizure. That's a deep subject that most people don't understand. They don't care to understand. Just give me my goddamn check. But the day will come when they rue that decision. You know, those in power understand what they're doing. And it's not just this noble, oh, we'll give you $1,000. We're going to give 5,000 to other people. But the increasing of liquidity devalues the worth of your holdings, your savings, what you've earned.
Another crazy thing that a lot of people aren't talking about with this is in this bill, there is going to be new provisions for health. There is going to be provisions for stopping. I mean, the DOJ was talking about reinstituting imminent detention, to stop people in the name of potential virus. Like, what people don't understand is that the next stop, if they've stopped you to check you for a virus, they're going to make you do a swab. Now your DNA has essentially been put on file, and need we say anything more besides, the whole Stephen Avery case with having blood tampering and DNA. I mean, you do not want, our government has been shown time and time again to never ever be trusted. And yet these people, Thomas Massey got ridiculed today, and yesterday partially as well, for doing the right thing. And yet, when you speak truth and freedom in times like this, people look at you like you're fucking insane. And the question that you and I always come back to is, how do you educate people to realize that statism is bad? And this is like a golden opportunity to do that. But I don't know, do you think people will actually want to hear that? Do you think that they'll want to hear that their leaders are once again enslaving them to more and more debt?
I think they've heard it time and time again. They don't believe it. The proof is in the pudding. You can, like Maya Angelou says, when you say something to me, I may hear it, but when I experience it, then I learn it. I feel it. I remember it. That is what's happening right now. At least I think that has the potential to happen right now. I think we're still very early into this fog, but it's kind of like my dog who died a week ago. I am very upset that I didn't exercise the appropriate CPR and first aid on him, which I learned a summer ago, going to a class, taking notes, practicing on a stuffed animal. It doesn't register until it's an actual breathing animal in a first aid situation. Then it's like, holy fucking shit. What's going on? What do I do? I think that's what's happening right now with this socialistic printing of money, trying to get people on the tit of government. I think they're seeing in reality what they've been told about is the reality. So you may say, oh, I hear printing of money is bad. I hear debt is bad. I hear inflation is bad. But I don't, I just hear that. I see it. I read it from the alternative sources of information, not your mainstream media who has an agenda to push. When you're living that reality, your money's taken from you, your wealth is devalued. People are going through that right now, and having that actual live personal experience is a educational experience beyond a book experience. So living it is what's happening. It's what's evolving, and just the message has been out there. I just don't think it's been seriously comprehended and digested. Will it be? God, I hope so. Like you said earlier, this is the time, if any time, to show the fallacies behind the house of cards they've set up. And I hope that people do see it, and I hope there's changes out of it.
I mean, how do you tell your neighbor next door that $1,200 is literally just buying them? It's not actually going to do anything. I mean, most people, $1,200 is it ain't shit. Like it's nothing.
It's gonna help them buy groceries for a couple months, pay their mortgage because they don't have a job anymore.
But
it's not going to be stimulating businesses or economies. It's a recession is when your neighbor is in this situation. A depression is when you're in the situation. The government is forcing more people into this situation, and that's the reality of existence and exposure that is coming.
do you fear that this is going to drive people to be even more self-conscious and less friendly towards one another?
I actually think just the opposite. I think there was a CNN article or news piece a couple days ago that said this is going to be the end of charity as we know it. I believe just the opposite. This is a time when people come together. This is a time when schools are shut down. What do? Oh, I teach my own kid. The government food distribution system is shut down. What do? I grow my own food. People are reliant and in a community situation create enormous value that they don't believe they have because the government has taken that away from them. They've led them to think you need government to get educated. You need government to get food. You need government to get money. You don't need government for any of those things. I think people are going to experience a self-reliancy renaissance out of this. I am donating blood. I called up American Red Cross here in St. Paul, and they said they're booked out 2 weeks for blood donations. I thought, oh my gosh, I'll just run down there today because everyone's saying there's no people giving blood. They are scheduled out for 2 weeks to give blood. I and my wife have sent in extra donations to our local food shelves. Our Hamlin Midway Elders, a seniors support group we support. We've given money to our local waiters, waitresses, restaurants. We've offered to help cook meals. I don't think in any way, shape, or form this is going to diminish the personal contact and support. I think it's going to increase it. Maybe that's the silver lining in what's going on.
And the interesting thing I think about it is that these are practices that most people in the libertarian, agorist, anarchist type of communities practice all the time. And most people view that faction and wing as completely nuts or that they're greedy, but in actuality, they're far more giving probably than any of the other ideologies that there are out there.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, you look at Kara Schultz making soup for people.
Yeah.
My mom went and she's bought extra toilet paper when it got restocked so that she can give it to people if they don't have it. It's like, okay, I want to do more.
Yes.
And I hope the world sees that, that this party or people who believe this way, or not even this party, but that just people who think a different way have always been good, and that it's actually a very thoughtful group and community.
That's the essence of libertarianism, that the individual provides, the government takes. And you will see repeatedly examples of that happening in this crisis situation. The charity, the compassion, the care, the involvement, the reaching out. I've called more people in the last 2 weeks than I have in months to make sure they're okay. People are bringing each other soup. I had soup brought to me. Angie and I were talking about making cookies to take to people, helping with free deliveries. And that is the essence of libertarianism. As you said, Mason, agorists, anarchists, they get mocked. Oh, you don't care about other people. You just want to take care of yourself. No, I want to take care of other people, not have government get in my way of doing that. Don't believe the lie that government is the only entity capable of taking care of people.
Look at Dyson. Dyson just made a whole bunch of ventilators.
Government has shown time and time again they're the worst operation at taking care of people. They're the most inefficient, unproductive, lack of quality, lack of affordability provider of these services. When they get out of the way, charitable giving goes up, direct person-to-person contact goes up, support goes up. It's shocking, and that's where we, as libertarians, agorists, are on the right side of history. This is the way history has always been. And I do believe people are going to wake up to that more. I think this is a shining moment, and it's tragic. It's terrible. All the people who are sick and who are afraid. And I'm not. I don't want to denigrate anyone who is afraid and who has a different belief or action system right now. I don't want to do that ever. But the opportunity to show your self-determination, your self-reliance, your self-sovereignty is more important than a state mandate, decree, ban, or allowance. That's going to be proven. It's being proven. It will continue to be proven. And I hope that changes our entire dynamic in the relationship between government and people. As the founder said, from time to time we need to shrug off government, throw it out, restart. And maybe maybe this is one of those times. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But one thing's been proven again and again and again, and it's authoritarian, draconian government ruins more lives than it helps.
And I guess for, I don't know, kind of like a last talking point, do you have any thoughts or recommendations for people to do for if they need goods and services? Should they reach out to certain people in the Libertarian Party, or should they reach out to, I mean, who should they reach out to?
Other people, any other people, because let's call it what it is. We're people. We're not a Republican. We're not a Democrat. We're not an independent. We're not a Green. We're fucking people. And we create these fake labels and we put other people in boxes, and that's divisive. This might be a great resetting of that, where we all realize we're one big fabric. We're all threads in the same towel. We're all, whether you believe in God or spirituality, we're part of the same being. We're on this planet together. We interact together. People have proven again and again and again, and this is why everything's going to be fine at the end of the day. People have proven again and again and again, they're willing to help. They're compassionate. They're resourceful. They care. So to say, just ask a libertarian, just ask a Green Party, just ask a Republican, don't think of it that way. Ask someone if you need help, and they will most likely give you help.
It's also, I guess, even though I do not believe in this whole shutting down, and I think it's tyrannical as fuck, but it does offer a great opportunity to actually regain some humanity.
Mm-hmm.
I
exactly
have talked to some random people out and about. I mean, I find it entertaining. I refuse to participate in the social distancing. I've been out on walks.
Obviously, you're here hugging me and kissing me.
We're making out. It's beautiful. But I will walk down a path. I won't move. Someone will look at me in sheer terror, and then it allows an opportunity to strike up a conversation. And I hope that people are also doing that. I don't think keeping your distance from humans is going to help stop anything. I think it, more than anything, it allows you to create a new relationship, a new opportunity, a new bond, and to, I guess, shed labels and realize that, yeah, we are all people and humans, and at the end of the day, people should stop worshiping their false god of government and that altar and that deity that they've created, and get back to the grassroots of what makes America so awesome, and that's the people and the ideas of it.
That is a beautiful statement, analysis, well spoken. You need to record that and put that in your documentary. Honestly, no shit, really. I was like, God, I wish I could turn the camera around at you right now, because you hit the nail on the head. You know, humanity. Let's get it back. It's here.
Well, it's been fucking.
You
awesome.
know,
I mean,
and the America's an idea. It's letting people, self-determine, and they have, and respecting that now more than ever is being showcased. And you said that beautifully. You really need to use that and incorporate that into whatever you're going to do with this footage.
And it's also interesting too. Like you can have conversations with people, right? And I guess maybe it's a little bit better, but this day and age, you can get along with someone, but if they find out if you're not their political ideology, they absolutely fucking hate you, and they want you dead. And it's like, when did it become so acceptable? When was it okay? How the fuck did we get from, hey, I like this person, oh wait, he's gay, I hate him, or wait, that woman made out with another woman, I hate her, oh, she voted Democrat, oh, I want her to die. Like, how the fuck did that become?
Yeah.
How did that become acceptable?
Maybe this is the resetting.
You have to hope.
Of that. I do hope. And I believe as dire and frightening as the situation is right now, and again, I don't fault anyone how they react. I'm not going to tell them how to react. All I know is how I react. And I hope you, them, everybody can get together, realize those same things, and respect themselves, other people as people, not as labels. Let's face it, we were all designed to be different.
Mm-hmm.
We're not meant to be the same.
No.
We're not meant to think alike. The best thing we can do is evolve to appreciate that we're different. And that's how growth happens. Progress evolves from conflict. It doesn't evolve from everyone agreeing all the time and doing the same thing. No advancements in civilization or humanity have resulted from that.
I mean, these idiot leaders of ours might have actually just done all of us a gigantic solid. I didn't even think about it till now. That leaders always love to have people fighting. They love to preach diversity more than anything, because they like to tell people about their differences. And this might actually be the most opportune time for people to put their differences aside, and that they could probably come together and make some real change. That'd be some pretty good shit.
It's a dawn of enlightenment. And I read a little bit of horoscope, philosophy, biblical foretelling. I don't think we're in the end times. Maybe we are, but the end times are going to last 100 years, okay? But there's a cycle, which I believe some of the Indian prophets have foretold, which we may be in, which is an evolution in existence, an enlightenment. And as the Lord says, it's always darkest before the dawn. The Lord puts you through tough times before he gives you good times. Maybe that's the cycle we're in. It's not a snap of the fingers. Government's going to wake us up out of this. No, we're going to wake ourselves up out of this. And government often makes it slower, tougher to get out of it. But I believe there's a silver lining, and it's what you just expressed. And that's my hope, belief, and why my positive attitude for us exists.
So I guess I'll end with this, since we're talking about positivity. Donald Trump said that he wants to have the country reopened and working and flowing by Easter. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't have an opinion one way or another. I'm not an expert. I'm not a doctor. Okay. These government fuckers have all this information coming to them that you and I aren't privy to. Our own governor, Tim Walz, came out 2 days ago and he said, oh my God, 74,000 people are going to die if I don't tell everyone to stay home for 2 weeks and put businesses out of business for 5 more weeks. Great. Let's see the data on that projection. Oh, well, just trust me. Even the media is asking him, where's this data? Where's this modeling?
Which the day before he said he didn't want to make any decisions without seeing data.
Yeah.
And yet you have data now that made you change your mind. Where the fuck's the data?
Where's the data? So when it comes to the federal government and all the flaws in Donald Trump, and I get it, I'm not, everything shades of gray for me. I'm not binary. I'm not absolute. Hate, love. It's all scales. And Donald Trump's response to what's going on right now, some of it's buffoonery. Some of it is respectful to allow states to determine their own course. I admire that. Listening to doctors, experts, economists, there's all this input coming into him. So I don't know what he's hearing. I don't know what the right answer is. I can't pretend to say everything should be open at a certain date. Everything should stay closed past a certain date. I think we need to figure that out for ourselves. I really question the people who say, let's destroy your livelihood, keep you out of work because people are getting sick. It's like this meme floating around on the Facebook right now. It shows all the people signing the Constitution, but there's a little quote above it that says, this all goes out the window if people get sick, right? That's how I feel right now. Like we talked about earlier, educate people. Let them make their own decisions. I don't know what the right answer is for you. You don't know what the right answer is for me. You don't force me on what you think I should do. I don't force you on what you think or what I think you should do. And that goes back to the essence of libertarianism. You have to allow people to make their own decisions. And with education, I think the federal government has not imposed a national ban on any business or lockdown. He's let the governors make those decisions. So to say Donald Trump can open up the economy or close the economy, he hasn't done that yet. Tim Walz has done that in Minnesota, but all the Republican governors down in the Southeast, they haven't done these types of things. I don't know the metrics on their results versus our results. I don't think they're drastically different, but we, shouldn't jump to conclusions, point fingers, and think, I don't know any more than I've read and watched more than anyone else, nor do you.
Well, the really hard thing, too, is I'm self-employed. There's a lot of self-employed people. We don't get benefits. People can say all sorts of things like, oh, well, you should do this or you should do that.
Mm-hmm.
We choose to be self-employed for a reason, and it's also because I don't want to have to pay into bullshit. That's my money. It's no one else's.
Right.
I want to have my money to appropriate it to where I want to. And the fact that people like myself, I don't know if I'd even take I honestly, I can't fathom doing unemployment. It kills me to even think about it. I don't even think I could do it. I literally, I was looking at it earlier today. I was like, oh, fucking gross. And you know what? And it's there for some people, and it's great. If it's there, use it, whatever. But it's different when you are self-employed and you are told you do not get to go do your work, your passion, your love. And the ramifications of that is far greater for self-employed people than it is for W-2 or people who work for corporations or any of that. And Minnesota is actually a land of entrepreneurship. We have a shit ton of small business, self-employed, and for Walz to be such an inconsiderate ass clown to go and do that, out of what? There is no metrics.
Right.
We are below, as
we haven't seen them,
as
at
Jensen
least.
said earlier today, we are below. Hospitals are not overrun. It's only the media.
They're actually laying off hospital workers because now they've banned them from doing elective surgery. Some of them don't have anything to do as they wait this.
And if the FDA could get the fuck out the way, and allow those now empty beds that have been opened up, it becomes less of an issue.
It would be, and as I asked him, why don't you give us our goddamn surplus money back? Why don't you waive taxation?
$2 billion?
1.5 billion, 1.6. It might be close to 2. Oh, that's all gone. Where the fuck did it go? Oh, spending on COVID-19. What does that mean? Well, and here's a fault, I'm going to rant about. Federal, state, We're going to give SBA loans. Almost no qualifications. If your business right now is denied the opportunity for income for 7 weeks, why would you take on a loan you have to pay back right now? Why would you add more debt with interest when the state will not allow you income to pay that?
But they said that they would waive interest, and also potentially 50% would be forgiven, which then just gets absorbed back into the debt, I would imagine.
I don't know what the shell game is you've heard. That's not the shell game I've heard. Maybe you're right.
Either way,
it's too hard and loosey goosey to keep track of and know what's real right now. All I know is nobody knows what's going on, except they're just fucking giving away money, not giving it away, lending it out right now.
That's the other thing that's fascinating. They're giving money to big corporate businesses, because we are actually a fascistic society. Business and government, we're corporatist.
Not
capitalist. Like
correct.
People like to.
There's a huge difference.
Drives me nuts.
Yep.
But they're giving money to people who have money, and then they're offering to loan money to those that they're hurting the most.
Yep.
Think of that.
Exactly. When they talk about getting rid of the payroll tax, how does that help you? Doesn't. Well, you're self-employed, okay. If they offer a payroll tax waiver to my employer, then my employer doesn't have to pay the government taxation on my income. I still have to pay taxation on my income. It would be a better thing to cut the taxation on my income to me.
Yes.
Where's that solution? Maybe it's coming. Maybe it's not. This isn't done. I mean, this, they've already talked about it. Federally, we're in Stimulus Bill 3. They're already talking about
Another one.
Stimulus Bill 4. And
Yes.
again, stimulus, rescue, what's the difference? They could do a lot more good, and maybe they'll get to this point. Maybe, people like Thomas Massey, people like Jeremy Munson in our own state are saying, hey, what about doing this a different way to get money in people's hands versus money in companies'
maybe we could
hands?
stop our drone programs. Maybe we could stop some military-industrial complex. And I mean, when Donald Trump just signed the largest spending bill recently, and that was what, 1.4 trillion, and most of it went to war. Like, why don't we reappropriate that back into the fund and say, okay, we're going to stop bombing and nation building and actually use our own money on our own people.
Yeah.
You can hope that it gets there. It won't, though.
Let's flatten the debt curve.
Hey, that's a good.
I mean, it's come along like this until about the last 20 years, and then it's gone straight up. Let's flatten that curve. That can do more destruction to human life than...
Who had the last balanced budget?
Andrew Jackson.
No, a Democrat. Bill Clinton.
No. We didn't have a balanced budget then.
Yes, we did. Google.
No.
It was. We might have borrowed from parts of other things, but we had.
The last time our budget was balanced at a federal level, Andrew Jackson was president. When was the last time the United States of America had a balanced budget?
Bill Clinton.
So, let's see here. The first thing that pops up, it says, was Andrew Jackson the only U.S. president to bring national debt to zero? So maybe I'm asking the wrong question, but this is from PolitiFact.
So do national debt underneath Bill Clinton.
Andrew Jackson was the last president who actually balanced the federal budget.
Could've-
And we had no national debt.
I'm pretty sure that
This thing's all fucked up now.
Bill Clinton did something. We were at zero.
No.
It was Bush. Bush ran everything the fuck up. Remember? We went from 0 to 9 trillion.
Dude, it started running up under Reagan.
Well,
honestly.
we borrowed and reappropriated funds. But my point that I'm getting to is that the last time we were anywhere near a balanced budget, to reiterate, was actually about 20 years ago underneath Bill Clinton. He was the kind of sort of fiscally conservative Democrat.
I'd agree with that. That was the old blue dog Democrat.
Yes.
That's where Reagan came from. There's all kinds of spin on the definition of this on, the ruling from PolitiFact is that Andrew Jackson was the last president who actually balanced the budget. So
Well, then then I'm wrong. But I do know.
He also killed like thousands of Indians on the Trail of Tears. So I'm not saying he's a hero, but I also believe his face should be replaced with Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill.
Your phone. I gotta look at this now. I feel stupid.
Yeah. No. Here, let me pull this up here.
By the way, I'm literally gonna put this whole fucking conversation up, and people can watch or not watch it if they don't want.
Here, read through that. Can I piss? You want to pause or
You can go
keep
piss.
rolling? I'm gonna piss. Razors. I'm pissing.
That's a full bladder.
Shut down now, right?
Yeah. 60 billion is what he left us with. That's not bad.
No.
But anyway, we can keep on talking if you want to, or we can be done.
You know, about empty on this beer. It's Friday night,
It is,
7:30.
and I gotta cut this other shit up and send it off.
Yeah.
So
Just send a little video today so we can do a. If you want to use it or not, I don't care.
So I guess you know what you can do right now is you can look at this camera and say, hey, if you people like this, we can do this again, and please leave a comment.
Where? Where would they leave a comment?
Because I'm gonna give you the fucking video to put it on Facebook or
Oh.
somewhere. So. or
Well, you're gonna
YouTube.
have to trim it down because we've been
No.
fucking shooting the shit for like 2 hours.
I don't care. No, it's been.
Oh.
No, it hasn't. I'm putting the whole untethered thing.
No matter what my friend Mason does with this video, if you like it and you'd like to see more, leave us a comment. Maybe we'll do more. Maybe we'll do less. Your thoughts?
Stay free.
Live free, motherfuckers!
Oh shit, that was. I mean, you're out of focus because you. Came
Oh
forward.
God, because I came forward. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
You do it right there.
What? Right here?
There you go.
Leave us a thought. Leave us a comment. You want to see more? Do you want to see less? We don't care. We might do more. We might do less. We're not going to necessarily listen. We're just curious to your thoughts. Live free, motherfuckers.